I did too. We are live. Another episode of Red Sports Radio. My name's Tyler. He's James.
James.
Woo! So last week, James, we had a bet. You want to tell them a little bit about that bet, what it entailed, what the bet details were? And
Yeah. I mean, I said that I didn't think the Eagles were going to win by more than a field goal, and you said, I'll give you 8 points. And I said, all right. And then, we weren't doing monetary bets because obviously I live in Florida and sports betting is illegal here because everybody's fighting about sports betting. Hard Rock, just get it done. All the other tribes, just let the Hard Rock do it. Bring back sports betting. So, yeah, we made a bet over a chip that might have hospitalized some people, killed a guy. Yeah, made a bet on a chip.
made a bet on not just a chip. This is the chip we're talking about here. The one chip challenge by Pocky.
Points than I offered you. I offered you a field goal. You could have said 4 points. You gave me 8. Granted, they lost, so it wouldn't have mattered. But that was bold, Tyler.
I was confident on a double-digit victory. Jalen Hurts throwing 3 interceptions doesn't help the cause at all. And obviously the game swung in a completely different direction than both of us imagined. And
I did not see him. I think I said that. I didn't see him losing, but hey, it works out.
Yeah. Well, I'm the biggest.
We had both undefeateds lose this weekend, though, so.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good games, on the radar here. I know that your Lions are playing Baltimore. That's a home game for the Lions.
I mean, yeah, everybody thought the Bucs and the Lions game was going to be a good game too, though.
Yeah. Well, both teams now are 5-1. Or the Ravens 4-2.
I think the Ravens are 4-2, if I'm not mistaken.
So the Ravens are 4-2. Your Lions are 5-1. Dan Campbell, after that last victory, pulls a $5 bill out of his pocket and just hyping these guys up. It was great to watch it. I saw the video. I'm sure you did.
I mean, of course. Yeah, I mean, he's the most Detroit guy that Detroit could have got to coach that team.
Oh yeah, and we said that last episode. They needed a blue collar coach that is a little bit rough around the edges and really kind of fit the Motor City, and he's that guy.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he's that guy. Man, the sunset's freaking beautiful tonight. I mean, Florida sunset, what's up?
Hey, that's a beautiful sunset, man.
Well, so, I mean, yeah, Dan Campbell's that guy. He's got it going on. That's, it's great to see the Lions doing well. I still doubt them. They're going to screw something up. The world's going to come shattering down around me, and I'm not letting my hopes get up. I've done it before. Won't do it again.
I think you can this time. I think it's safe.
No, you're a Bears fan. Shut up.
They made Stephen A. The Lions made Stephen A. Smith's A-list #1 team.
They are the #1 team. I mean, anybody that wants to say it's the Chiefs, let's revisit week 1.
Yeah.
The week that we found out that Travis Kelce is the reason the Chiefs are good.
Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, not the really
Nope. Patrick Mahomes is not a winner without Travis Kelce.
You might be sitting in a very lone car on that one.
Well, I mean, we don't really have to go and look at anything other than the score. Because Travis Kelce was out. They lost. Travis Kelce is in. He tells Patrick Mahomes where to throw it to by pointing at people, and they win.
I see where you're coming from, but I still think Patrick Mahomes is one of the most elite quarterbacks that we have in the game today.
I don't disagree with that. He gets stuff done. He just has somebody that helps him with his decision making.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Andy Reid is right there with him too, and he's a mastermind for that offense as well. And all those pieces put together, you get all those minds put together. Of course, you're going to win. More games than you lose.
Amazing how that works.
Yeah. And, that's not the only team that has, all that kind of brain power. I mean, look at, Miami, they got the brain power. We look at San Francisco, they got the brain power. Philadelphia, they got it there too. And these teams are just.
Who is Miami's brain power?
Their head coach.
Outside of their head coach.
Tua.
I don't disagree. I think he's probably one of the best head coaches in the league. Probably one of the smartest. But Tua's got a smooth brain. Tua's a smooth brain guy.
Look, he might have a couple off days, but at the end of the day, he's the one delivering those passes. He's still calling plays in the huddle. You got Jalen Waddle, you got Tyreek Hill out there that are saying just go as far as you can go, and they are, and they're burning tops off everybody because of it.
Man, I had to pull over here just to kind of check this out because it is freaking sweet.
All right. Well, I think it's been long enough wasted time. We're at 7:09. I want to give it till about 7:15 before I eat this chip.
I know how to just turn the camera around. So, I mean, you even got your little like zip line acrobat rope thing there. But man, nice night in Florida.
Yeah, freaking beautiful.
And it's kind of chilly. It's like 76 degrees here. I'm wearing jeans and a hoodie or a crew neck sweatshirt because it's chilly.
It's chilly and 70 degrees, Mister. I'm from Michigan, lived in Indiana. It's chilly and it's 70 degrees.
Man, it was like 57 degrees this morning. I was thinking about breaking out my winter coat.
You really adapted really fast, didn't you?
Hey, went back to the Florida life. I think my worst winter ever was the one that I decided, I'm going to go back after living in Pensacola for 2 years. I went back to Michigan, and man, I've never been so cold in my life.
Yeah, it'll be a shell shock when we get you up here, to kind of hang out again.
Nope, never going to happen. You guys got to come down here. Do you see that at the bottom right underneath my name? What does that say?
It says
So come on.
Catch me a break. So
man,
just to give you an idea,
eat this chip.
So here's the chip. We'll get into eating it here. Do want to let you know this chip has been recalled after the death of a 14-year-old. So I couldn't find it just about anywhere. I had to pay extra premium cost. It was $50 to get it shipped to my house in a couple of days.
Tyler without a beard looks like he's 14 years old, in case anybody was wondering.
That's very true. So let's go ahead and dive into this chip. I don't have milk here. So this might be really bad.
If it's appropriate, let's show your area. Is it possible to show? Why do you need that water? You don't need that.
It's a beer.
Oh, yeah, that definitely works to cool your mouth down. Good idea. So, I mean, yeah, we're looking at it. We don't have any more undefeateds anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, we still got Brock Purdy going out there doing things. Jalen Hurts, 3 interceptions. We're going to see where things are at. Injuries are really stacking up on teams, I think, especially on the running back side of things where, it's getting a little rough out there.
Yeah, you called an injury, Christian McCaffrey.
I see he gets injured every year. I didn't call anything.
You said it would happen this last game because it was supposed to be a big game for him, and he ended up with an injury.
He's a choke artist.
Chokes with an injury. He doesn't choke because he can't play the game. He's one of the best in the game, but his injuries...
doesn't choke because he can't play. He gets hurt because he pushes so hard, and he's just not a tough guy.
Yeah.
He's not resilient. When it's not a rough game, he goes out there and he protects himself, and you can see that in the way he plays, and he's one of the best to do it when he does. But when he goes out for these big games, he tries to put the team on his back, and he hurts himself every single time.
Yeah.
Has there been a year that he hasn't injured himself?
Was he injured last year at all?
Was he injured, or did he just sit out before he left North Carolina?
I think he was just sitting out for a little bit. I know because he transferred over healthy, and I think he was just kind of out for a little bit. I don't know if it was due to injury.
Okay.
So but it was that whole trade.
I love watching him play. Don't get me wrong. Think he's one of the best to do it. He's just not.
Yeah,
he's gonna get injured.
It's crazy to me to think that we get year in and year out, everyone just continuously gets better and better and better. Like every year, like the talent pool is it starts here and it's here next year, and next year it's way up here, and where's it going to end?
Who knows? Well, I think the other thing we got to talk about is, while we're talking about people getting injured, having delay, Henry Ruggs got sentenced to 3 years in prison? Yep. So, I mean, are we going to see him pull Michael Vick, come back out of prison, bigger, stronger, faster? I think that could be a story.
He'd be, 5 years removed when he gets out?
Yeah, it's been a couple years since he's played.
Yeah. About 5 years removed. I don't know if he comes back.
I mean, the NFL let Ray Lewis play, so they're not against having murderers playing football.
No, not at all.
OJ? Huh? Ford even brought the Bronco back. OJ's car.
Yeah. That's impressive. So while James is out, I decided to do the luxury. I've opened up the box here. Got 2 different pieces here. Take a look at what this box has to say, and I'll dive into this chip, and then we can kind of continue conversation as this is just brewing in my stomach all episode long.
So I'm growing my hair out so I can look like Phil Mickelson. And just want you to know, it's getting wonderful. It's kind of long here in the back. It almost looks like
I see a couple grays in there, old man.
A couple? Hey, at least I got it. That's all I got to say about that. There's plenty of gray.
Oh, you got the density, that's for sure.
I got a lot of it, so I'm not complaining.
So inside the coffin, it's a coffin. It says, "What to expect. Made with Carolina Reaper and Niagara Viper peppers. This vicious chip was created for the vengeful pleasure of intense heat and pain. Swift strike to the mouth, intense recoil, Viper hyper hypnosis, an abdomen attack, and
abdominal.
Yeah, that's the word.
I'll help you read, Tyler.
An abdominal attack and a serpent spiral. So all kinds of crazy things. Let me hold the chip up. Everybody see the chip. It's in here. I'll go ahead and open that one up in a second. Came with Slade the Pocky One Chip Challenge. It says I Slade the Pocky One Chip Challenge on this side. And so, okay, here we go. So how long can you last before you spiral out?
We
1
have
minute,
to see you
you're a
eat
harmless person. 10 minutes, a slitherer. If you're 30 minutes, you're venomous. And if you're an hour, you're an apex predator. So how long do I go?
We have to see you open the package. You have to open the package and put it in your mouth on camera.
Oh, I for sure will. I mean, that's part of it. That is.
You better not have a bag of freaking Doritos sitting next to you.
So yeah, no, you'll see it all. You'll see it all. I'm just getting through everything. This side here says rules for the challenge. Read the warning. So the warning's on the back side of the part of the box. So the warnings are here. I'll read through that in a second. Second step is eat the entire chip. Wait as long as possible before drinking or eating anything. Post your reaction to social media, which we're on social media right now. So the warning: keep out of reach of children. Intended for adult consumption. Do not eat if you are sensitive to spicy foods, allergic to peppers, nightshades, or capsaicin, or are pregnant or having medical conditions. After touching the chip, wash your hands with soap and do not touch your eyes or other sensitive areas. Seek medical assistance should you experience any difficulty in breathing, fainting, or extended nausea. This chip, remind you, killed a 14-year-old and has hospitalized many others.
Hey, you got the gloves, right? I don't want to see you hurt yourself.
I don't have gloves.
All right. Well,
I don't have them.
Make sure you don't touch little Tyler before you wash your hands.
The black background on this, and then I'll get back into focus once I have the chip in hand. Oh shit! I'm shaking. Woo! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
This is thrilling.
This is not the whole chip. It's broken in here.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to do 2 rounds. I'm gonna have to do 2 rounds of eating this. Let me get into focus here. I don't know why it wants me way over here. Let's do it.
Did you just pop that whole thing in your mouth at once? Oh, good job. Oh yeah, get that in there. Keep chewing. Lick your fingers. Is it hot? I'm waiting for your face to change. I'm waiting for your face to change the same color as your hair. It's kind of like camouflage.
Oh my God. Wow, that fucking hit me in a second. All right, let's talk football. Let's do it. I'm good.
You look like
I'm not talking this anymore. I think I'm good, James.
All right, cool. So, I mean, we got Jacksonville and New Orleans tonight. Who are you taking?
Jacksonville, New Orleans. I'm going to take Jacksonville over New Orleans. I think it is a home game for Jacksonville, if I'm not mistaken. I think that
at the Saints. It's in New Orleans.
It's in New Orleans?
Oh, yeah. Are you able to speak?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think Chris Olave, are we going to see him come back tonight? Is his injury going to still affect him? I mean, we had low production from him on the fantasy side, overall low production from him in general last week, short week, coming back on Thursday night. Trevor Lawrence has been playing well. Jacksonville's been playing well, but I don't know that they're taking him out in New Orleans.
No, sorry, I'm crying. This fucking hurts. This is going to have to be rated R. I'm cursing tonight. I don't do this on any episode, but this hurts. Whoa. Damn. Don't let kids watch this episode, please. I'm in a lot of pain right now.
You don't look like you're doing well.
I like Chris Olave. I like the threat he brings. But something to do with Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence, he's got his Calvin Ridley back. There's just something unmatched about that. Their defense is stepping up. They're coming out of London now for a couple weeks. Y'all, I can't express to you what this chip is. I'm going all episode right here. Ain't no one seeing me.
You know, this week there's not a ton of exciting games. I mean, we have, like you said, Detroit playing the Ravens.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, the 49ers are at the Vikings. I don't think that's going to be a great game. Bills, Patriots. We got
San Francisco's got a game this week. They're home, I think, against let me pull that up.
They're playing the Vikings.
They're playing the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, the Vikings are not the team that they once were. I'm not real excited about it.
I don't know, man. I keep talking a lot good about the Vikings. They just squeaked a win against the Bears. And if they wanted to prove that they were worth anything, they had to win that game. And the Bears hung tight with them almost all game long. I'm not really too impressed with the Vikings. I don't know what's going wrong. They got all the defensive players that they had from last year. They got the offense, all the weapons. It's just not coming together on that side for the Vikings. I don't know. San Francisco.
I mean, I think the biggest story of the week is going to be, how do the Eagles do coming off of their win and having the Dolphins at home? Obviously, a huge game. They're both going to be in the playoffs. Huge game.
Yeah.
But how are they going to respond to that loss? And especially against such a high power offense, are they going to be able to pull it together? Is Jalen Hurts going to be in his head over the interceptions? I think he does well. And honestly, I also think good game. That one will probably be pretty fun to watch. It's going to be low scoring, going to be a battle, but that'll be a fun game.
Yeah.
Are you doing all right, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's starting to die down, but the heat on my lips is so intense right now.
Did you lick your lips?
I don't know if I should.
It's probably not a good idea at all.
Probably not.
Boy, that could have been me.
That could be you, man.
Yeah, I mean, I made a crazy bet.
Yeah.
You even made it. I mean, you made it easier on me. And then it all went to hell, but still. I really appreciate that, Tyler. Are you thinking about that right now? I would be. If I had just eaten that chip, I would be thinking about the fact that I gave this man more points than what he asked for, and I still lost.
You know what?
You were confident.
And confidence is king. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not happy I'm eating this chip. Or ate the chip. Ric Flair, baby. That was a second win. But I'm going to be an Apex Predator. We're getting to the end of the episode. And that's an hour in. And I'm a king. So
I mean, that's 50 minutes. You'll have to go 10 minutes past the episode in order to be the Apex Predator. But hey, man, you've already made it, what, like 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got some time to go. Look like you're going to pass out. I'm dying. Yeah. This is crazy. I'm not going to pass out. Let me go ahead and put that comment up on the screen for you, James, so you can see what I'm seeing here.
I mean, he does kind of look like he's going to pass out. He's already calling. He's making it to Apex Predator. He's made it 3 minutes, JoJo.
And then he goes up and says, I'm dying. You're not dying, JoJo. I'm dying. I'm the one that's dying. I know you're dying of laughter.
I find this hilarious.
You find this hilarious. I don't quite find it so. But you know what? At the end of the day, James, in order to do another crazy challenge like this, I think we should challenge the audience. I think we get 50 watch hours on this episode.
I don't even know how to check that, so you guys can lie to me. Make me feel good about life.
Share this, James. Share this with all your friends. I'm sharing this with all my friends. Share it with all your friends. Share it with everybody. Let's get the watch hours up on this. Let everybody see this. This is a once in a lifetime challenge. I'm not ever doing this again. I'm not touching this. Woo!
How was that burp?
I got the burps.
You did the Ric Flair after you burped that time, except for it was a lot more painful than Nature Boy ever was. Woo!
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of Ric Flairs.
I don't even see a game. So challenging the 50 hours watch time, I mean, what are you doing for them if they do that?
If they do that, we are going to do another challenge where we do something crazy. So whatever the top comment says, we'll go ahead and do it.
Well, fair. So, I mean, I think the Eagles win at home. I see JoJo's talking again. Yeah, that is a good thing. You should take some side bets.
Take some side bets in the comment. What's the over-under? How long before I puke? James, how long are we in on that ship?
Man, you've made it for 5 minutes.
I'm through 5 minutes. So let me pull up the rules here. 1 minute, I'm harmless. So I'm harmless right now. 10
5?
minutes. I'm a slitherer. Let's get the slither. That's 10 minutes in.
Oh, okay. Okay. I can see that. Like a little snake in the grass.
Yeah. I'm very careful about how I touch all the packaging anymore. But if you notice here
So
on the packaging,
did you think it was going to be as hot as what it was?
Honestly, I had so this chip is rated. Both peppers are rated at about 1.9 million Scovilles that are in this chip. So even if you add that up, you got 1.9 and 1.9. You're at about what 3.8. I ate a hot sauce. I'm talking a whole teaspoon, a whole spoonful of a hot sauce that's rated at 6 million Scovilles. So I'm already eating something that's double this. I knew that I could pass this challenge. I knew I'd be fine. And quite frankly, it's going down. There's not going to be any more Ric Flairs. James, I think we're in the clear. It's good now. But I can't eat or drink anything for the hour.
Beer, buddy.
Huh?
Just make sure you wash your hands before you go to the bathroom. That could be a real bad night for you.
Well, I want to get up and wash them now. My issue is if I leave, someone is going to be in the comments saying, oh, he went and got a drink.
Oh, I think you would. I would definitely say you went and got a drink.
So I can't do that. So I'm stuck here without washing my hands.
So, I mean, what's your game of the week? What do you think's happening? Anything exciting this weekend?
My game of the week, I've already called it. It's got to be the Lions game. There's the Lions playing Baltimore. Obviously, Lamar Jackson, coming off, incredible, years back to back, and we got that. Obviously the Lions right now absolutely going ballistic. They're at 5 wins right now. What are they at? 4 in a row? Or are they at 3 in a row right now? Either way, the Lions are looking absolutely incredible. I'm going to take the Lions in this game against them. But I don't know. I really want the game of the week to be the Vikings game against San Francisco, an NFC matchup there. I can't call that the game of the week. I can't. Justin Jefferson is the only thing keeping that team in line right now, and that one player can't keep that team winning games. And right now,
it's a primetime game, brother. We all know the outcome. Prime time. Kirk Cousins, as much as it pains me, look, vintage Michigan State crew neck. Kirk Cousins just not that primetime guy. He doesn't win in primetime.
He doesn't. And it's sad. Last year we had him. With all his jewelry in games after, a primetime win for like the first time in multiple years and saw all the bling he was decked out in. I don't think we're going to see that anytime soon again.
Hey, man, if we see it against San Francisco and against Brock Purdy, awesome. But I don't see that happening. Man, I'll call it now. I think the game of the week's happening in Kansas City.
Yeah. Look, Brock Purdy, last game, he took a loss, right? Was it last week they took a loss? He didn't have all of his weapons out there. Is Brock Purdy him after not having all those weapons? I think that's a conversation that needs to be had at some point in time. I'd like to see him, play more games without those weapons before I truly make my final analysis on that.
No, I think the amazing thing with San Francisco is they just needed to plug in somebody competent.
Yeah.
And they're a winning team. So they went, they traded up, drafted Trey Lance, didn't work out. They put in this mystery irrelevant, and he turns out he's competent. He can go out there and he can sling the rock in a semi-competent way, and guess what? They win football games. He's not a superstar. He's a winner.
He's a winner. Not a superstar, but he's a winner. I totally agree with you on that one. We got another game, the Chiefs-Chargers. This week, I think that's.
I think that's my hot take game. I think, if we look at what Justin Herbert generally does, he plays like garbage. A couple weeks in a row, then he comes out there and slings the rock like a superstar.
Yeah.
I mean, Eckler's not been playing well. We see those guys make their bounce back game. This is the perfect time to do it at Arrowhead.
At Arrowhead. So who are you taking then? I think you kind of already alluded to it, but who are you taking?
Man, I honestly think the Chargers are going to or not the Chargers. I think the Chiefs are going to win, but this could definitely be the week that we see an upset.
I think so too.
Another upset at Arrowhead. Well, I had to correct that because there's another team that we've already talked about that went into Arrowhead, won the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that team being Detroit, but I think that the Chargers are absolutely capable of going in there and getting it. Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, healthy right now?
Is he? I'm not 100%.
I'm not 100% if he's healthy right now. If he's healthy, they win the game. If he's not, then they don't. I think he's going to be the X factor on that. Keenan Allen, right now, he's a number one target in the entire league. I think he's the fourth or fifth receiver right now. So Keenan Allen's going to show out.
I think Eckler's questionable right now, and it's because of that pre-fight brawl that happened in Dallas, or the pre-game brawl where Dallas jumped in and took him out. There should be an asterisk next to that win saying, hey, they had to go and take out their best player before the game started. Because I always thought Detroit were the bad boys. Obviously not. I think it's happening down there in Dallas. We got the bad boys down there.
Yeah. And there's I don't like anything that they're doing out there in Dallas, from coaching to the top organization to the players.
No, it's a garbage franchise.
It's all dirty down there. But I'm gonna go ahead and take my pick on the Chargers this week.
So you're picking the Chargers over the Chiefs?
I'm taking them. My pick of the week is going to be the Chargers. Go ahead and write that one down.
You want to make a bet on it?
First, we got to get to our 50 watch hours, James. We got to get to our 50 watch hours.
Okay. So that's when you'll do the ice bath challenge.
That's when we do our next big bet. So our next big bet will be when we hit 50 watch hours on an episode. So we need to get there. It's not too hard. If every episode is only 50 hours, that's 50 people. You know, if you and I share this 25 times, get them to watch it for the full hour, we're at 50 watch hours.
Yeah, I mean, I think it can definitely happen, and I mean, maybe you'll just have to fly down here in Florida and wrestle an alligator next time. You're a Florida boy, right?
I'm not wrestling an alligator. I don't care how much.
We'll get a little one. We can find a small one.
I'm not wrestling no gator. That is not happening, James.
You know how hard they are to sneak up on and touch? I've been trying for the better part of 20 years to touch a freaking alligator, and you can't get close to them. They're so fast to get back in the water. Now, I've never tried to touch a big one.
I've never tried to touch one, period.
Like the little, when you're out on the golf course, you'll see those little 2-3 footers just laying there. Like, oh, I'm going to touch that. They can't, they'd hurt me and give me salmonella. But if I see a 5-6 footer, I'm not going anywhere near that thing. Now, these little babies, it's like,
going, I hope.
Huh?
The opposite direction is, I hope, where you're going.
You can't get close enough even if you wanted to. How's that burp? I saw you make a face.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah? Feeling, how are your lips? Are they warm?
Yeah, they're like a lukewarm,
You really want that beer, don't you?
I really do. And I was really hoping that I wasn't going to try for the Apex Predator. But we're going for it at this point.
Well, you're slithering like a snake now, Tyler, so congratulations.
Yeah, slithering like a snake. 10 minutes in. The next big mile marker for me has to hit, James. It's 30 minutes. That makes me venomous.
Oh, congratulations. So, I do think we could see a good game. Kirk Cousins could go out there and shock the world on Monday Night Football and win one. That's where he won last year, was Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
So, we could end up see that happening again. We could, it could be any number of things. But I think the most important thing is I think that the Chargers game, I think that could be a good game. I think the Commanders, Giants, that'll be a good game. Daniel Jones has just been a disappointment since he came into the league. But, and who knows where we end up. I still think the league it's kind of dwindling down. We're seeing more teams kind of pull away from each other. especially it kind of brought it into perspective this last week, seeing both of our undefeateds lose. We really do have those top teams, and then we have the other ones that are trying for it that aren't quite there yet. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to go down the list of games, and you just pick a team, win or lose, and we're just going to just go through all the games, starting with tonight's game. We've already talked about. I've already put my spot in for the Jags.
Yeah. I don't think the Jags are going to win in New Orleans.
You don't think they are?
No, I'm taking the Saints.
You're taking the Saints on that one, so we're split on that game. And we're gonna keep a tally on this, so we can go ahead and discuss this next week, and we can actually start keeping record of win-loss here. Next game being Falcons Buccaneers. Bucks.
Man, I think teams have starting to starting to figure out Bijan. We saw the Falcons actually utilize Kyle Pitts for the first time last week. I will pick the Bucks, and I think that the Falcons need to continue to utilize Kyle Pitts and make it almost like a two-headed snake between Kyle Pitts and Bijan for that to be effective. It's not going to be the Bijan show where he's just going to be able to go to the NFL and run over everybody. It's going to have to be a multifaceted attack like everyone else. Until they start actually utilizing Pitts the way I'd say like a George Kittle, a Travis Kelce is utilized.
Yeah.
The Falcons aren't going to be a winning team.
They have all the right pieces, on that offense, to be successful with, Kyle Pitts and with Bijan and with Drake London. The quarterback is shaky. But aside from that, I really do think that they have all the pieces, and I don't think they're utilized to your point all too effectively. And the Buccaneers, now a couple years removed from Tom, they're figuring things out, or still have things figured out. They already knew how to utilize their receivers. They knew how to utilize their running backs. And so I think it's that experience with that team that's going to carry them to that victory. So I'm with you on taking the Buccaneers. Our next game is the Raiders-Bears. I'm taking the Raiders just because the Bears are absolute hot dog snot, and the Bears can't have anything figured out. One victory right now under their belt. I don't care who's throwing the ball in Oakland. I don't care who's catching the ball in Oakland.
I'd really like Adams to go ahead and start playing football because he's been killing me.
Yeah.
And especially with the Bengals having a bye week this week, I just need some help, guys. I need some help.
Yeah, you got two of your top, players with Jamar and with, the quarterback over there in Joe Burrow. Both of them, sitting on your bench.
Yeah, I got two high draft. Well, Burrow wasn't a high draft pick, but I had my top spot draft pick on the bench this year, this week. So it's going to be a rough week. It could be a rough week for me 2 weeks in a row. I lost by 0.05 last week, everybody.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a rough week.
Yeah, that sounds pretty rough. So you taking the Raiders then too?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I would never pick the Bears. Even if the Bears were undefeated, I would not pick the Bears.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm a Detroit sports fan. We don't like you. Football, basketball, anything. We're not fans.
I hear you loud and clear. Our next game slotted is between the Browns are going on the road to Indianapolis playing the Colts. The Browns defense is probably one of the best in the league.
Colts have a huge loss with Richardson. They have a backup coming in that, has played obviously, but
I do like to play Gardner Minshew, when his first injury was out and, Gardner Minshew had to play that one game where he was out. Gardner Minshew did really well. I don't know if he can, sustain that for the entire season though. He's not really been, that week one starter for any team and just kind of playing that backup role.
No,
that's a whole different dynamic. That's an entire new dynamic, having him at quarterback versus Richardson. Pocket passer versus, a scrambling quarterback. So they're going to have to kind of readjust a lot of things. So I'm taking the Browns in this one. I'm with you on that as well.
Oh yeah, no, the Browns are going to win this one. They don't have a solid offensive line. Never have. That's why that's why Andrew Luck retired early.
Yeah. Our next game, Commanders Giants. It's in New York or Jersey, whatever you want to say it.
It's in Jersey.
I kind of want to go
But-
Commanders.
I take the Commanders with that one. That defense is pretty stifling. Daniel Jones is a joke.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a pretty easy pick. We've talked about Lions, Ravens. Next on the list will be Bills, Patriots. Again, it's in New England. Bills are.
This week with Lions, Ravens, we have Jameson coming back too. So just another weapon for the Lions to use. And I think we're going to actually see some long shots from Jared Goff to him, being the fastest receiver in the NFL.
Thank you for bringing up Jameson Williams. Is he a top waiver wire pickup for you this week in fantasy?
I would put him up there. I do think we're going to see some long shots down the field to him. I think that's been opened up by Detroit's running game and Detroit's short pass game. And he's that downfield threat. I mean, I don't believe he actually ran a combine 40, but when they go to the pro days when he ran the 40, he would have beat Tyreek Hill's 40 time.
Okay. Yeah.
He is the fastest man in the NFL. So let's see some long shots, Jared Goff. Hit him with the back shot. Now, I don't know that he has the same prowess as Tyreek Hill. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the man's fast.
He is very fast. Burns the top off a lot of defenses. Saw it last year. Him getting by a lot of secondaries. And maybe he is a top pick. He's on my watch list this week. I wouldn't say he's on.
How Detroit is it to have a player suspended for shooting dice in the frickin' locker room? Come on now.
Yeah. So he's on my watch list. I wouldn't say he's on my waiver wire pickup, this week. But as soon as I put him on a watch list, next week he's picked up too heavy and people don't got time to pick him up. So maybe now is the right time to pick him up and just kind of watch him from your bench, more or less watch him from that, flex spot.
Yeah, I'd slide him onto the bench. I think he's definitely the pickup.
I think he's a very good pickup for them. So bringing us then to our next game, like I started, to mention it earlier, Bills, Patriots. Bills all day. Mac Jones isn't, figuring things out with his offense, and their defense is probably the best thing in New England. Yeah, no. Cardinals are on the road. They're taking on the Seahawks. Obviously,
to go back to that, I definitely pick the Bills. I mean, I don't think they is Bill Belichick going to lose? Of course, Bill Belichick's going to lose. Let's go on.
Yep. And so we got the Seahawks, Cardinals. It's in Seattle. I like Geno in this one. Maybe an upset, obviously the Cardinals upset Dallas earlier this year. Can they do it to this team? I think this is a good team for them to upset. If you're going to slot an upset, I think this is one you might want to call.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think the Cardinals could definitely go into Seattle and win. Probably the loudest stadium outside of Arrowhead. But yeah, this would be the one.
Yeah, and just to call it, I'm gonna go ahead and slot myself in for Arizona. Don't really think it's gonna happen, but I want to slot myself in for it just in case it happens.
No, I think it'll be a close game, but I think K9 runs in one late to win it.
Yeah, Mm-hmm. Now you're making me want to change my pickup, but I'm not changing it no more. I changed it once, but I changed it twice.
I'm calling K9 running one in late.
Yeah. Next game is the Steelers and Rams. It's in Los Angeles, if that helps you.
Yeah. I don't like betting against Mike Tomlin. I will leave the Steelers out of my bets because I do not want to ever bet against Mike Tomlin. The man is a winner.
Man's a winner. We're gonna slot you in for him. And I'm same with you there. We're picking a lot of away teams, James. This is going to be an away victory week here. Is what we're slotting for.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Next one. Denver's at home playing the Packers.
Man, I don't know. That game is a complete toss-up to me. We've seen good flashes from both teams. We've seen, awful from both teams.
Yeah. I'm going to take the home team in this one. I think the home stadium is going to be.
You think they're actually going to? I don't think Denver wins until they decide to throw it to Mims, and he's consecutively gone down week after week after week. I think he's their best receiver. They want to keep throwing the ball to Sutton, who seems to have butter on his hands since week one. Jerry Judy's been solid, but he's not that downfield threat, great route runner. Until they're going to start mixing in Mims and stop taking his passes away, Sean Payton's got to eat crow on this one.
Yeah. But again,
he's just there throwing his players under the bus and blaming everybody else other than himself from not looking at. Just run it from a straight statistics game, which is what the NFL is he's not playing the numbers. He is playing his feelings, and they seem to be wrong.
So you're picking the Packers?
I'll pick the Packers. Yeah.
You'll pick. Okay. We're going to split on that one as well.
So because I hate that franchise almost as much as I hate the Bears. FTV.
Cold. That's cold. I can't stand the Packers. I can't slot them to win any week. So week in and week out, I'm just going to slot them for a loss.
Nope, I'm going to go ahead and take them this week. I don't think I'll take another away team.
Take another away team? Are you taking this away team? Are you going to take the Dolphins as they are away playing the Eagles?
I don't know. I can't do it. No, I'm taking the Eagles. I think we see them buckle down. I think we see Jalen Hurts really put together a great offensive showing. I think he's kicking himself in the butt after last week.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not. I can't take the Dolphins. I'm taking the Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles by 10 points.
I completely agree with you. There's no way that I can take the Eagles to see them losing 2 in a row this early in the season. As strong as they are, he just came off of Jalen Hurts throwing 3 interceptions. Their offense, I think, only had like 200 and some odd yards all game long.
Yeah, you're going to see Jalen Hurts come out with a vengeance.
He's going to come out and he's going to want to prove that he's going to a top dog in the NFC. And to do that, you're going to want to beat one of the best teams in the AFC, being the Dolphins, while you're at home, having your home stadium right there. I think this is the game where he says, I am, the best. We are the best team in the NFL.
No, I mean, they got to play the Lions before they can say that.
Yeah. You really believe the Lions are the best team in the NFL right now?
I think the Lions are playing the best football in the NFL right now. The most complete. Top to bottom, defensive, offensive. Most consistent. Yep.
Okay.
It pains me to say that, even as a Lions fan, because I have so much distrust in the organization. And it is terrifying to say that. But if we're looking offensive side, defensive side, I think they are making some questionable decisions at the running back side of things. They could be making better decisions there. But overall, offense, defense, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their defense is coming out playing like dogs.
Absolute dogs. Absolute. So then slotted for our last game, we've talked about it. We're taking the Niners over the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Kirk Cousins come out, Michigan State fan, of course, but he's won one primetime game his entire career. And I think Jefferson's out this week. So they're going, no, gone. So the other thing we have to talk about, we kind of brushed on it last week. We're talking the 49ers now. Brock Purdy, man's making a contract, $850,000 a year, I think. If they do make the playoffs and make it to the Super Bowl, did any of the fans give a guess as to who the last quarterback in the Super Bowl who made less? How many years do we have to go back to get there?
No one left a comment on it. I went back and looked, but we would have to go back almost, I think, to like 1999
for a team that isn't in the same place as they were. Tyler and I talked about this already. I didn't know this, so don't think I'm some freaking genius.
Yeah.
To a man that wasn't drafted, right?
Yeah. So
I knew that as soon as you told me.
Yeah. So it's last pick in the draft, the last one we've seen. Oh, my stomach feels kind of goodly. But no, the last time we've seen a last pick in the draft become anything in the NFL, that's been, on a Super Bowl team, that's been played more than 50 games, is Ryan Succop. And he's a kicker. And that's the last one. Aside from him, you got a couple different guys that have hit, 50 games played. Nothing too crazy in the stat lines. But Brock Purdy is going to break all sorts of records just being the last pick in the NFL draft, doing what he's doing.
Well, I mean, the last quarterback who made less than him, went undrafted, found his way to a Super Bowl win at that. They made a feel-good movie about him because it was such an amazing story.
Yeah.
Right?
So, are we waiting still for you to say who the quarterback that made less than Brock Purdy is?
I had it in my notes. Let me go ahead and pull that up.
Kurt Warner for the St. Louis Rams. Marshall Faulk as his running back. Marshall Faulk, you may remember, played with Jim Harbaugh at the Colts. Colts royalty, I would say. Colts made a big mistake in trading him off to the St. Louis Rams before the Rams went out to L.A. But we saw Kurt Warner go out there and win it. I didn't know the salary. Tyler told me $750,000. This man went undrafted. Came back into the league, I think 7 years after when he was initially drafted, and made a run at a Super Bowl and held up the Vince Lombardi.
Yeah.
And that was 1999, and he was at 750. Brock Purdy's making 850. This is 24 years later, and this man's about to go to a Super Bowl making sub $1 million.
Yeah.
No one's been close.
And let me just add something to that as well. Not only was, Kurt Warner the last one to do it, making the money he was making, but the talent he was playing against, the defensive talent he was playing against, was far superior to less than what the defensive talent we see today. And I alluded to that at the very beginning of the podcast of, we keep seeing this increase of, just the minimum level of talent you need to have just to be in the league anymore, because there is so much great talent out there. And so the talent pool just keeps getting better and better and better. So Brock Purdy is doing it not at the talent level that Kurt Warner was having to do it at.
I mean, I agree and disagree on that. I think you bring your Calvin Johnsons, your Barry Sanders, your Marshall Faulks, your you can bring your greats from every generation, and they're going to be great in today's NFL too. I mean, even Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders, obviously, I'm going to stick with him as a Detroit guy. He may not have been as good as what he was just because he didn't have the receiving side of it. So it's changed. The game has changed. But, I mean, your receivers, Dan Marino would have been an all-time great. Jerry Rice, the king of receivers. Of course, he's going to be there as an all-time great. Yeah. When you look at it, though, he was not overly big. Calvin Johnson would have been good still because of the intangibles. He was huge.
Yeah, and again, looking at it, I still want to go back to what I'm saying. It's the low-end talent level.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have that top-end talent level of those Calvin Johnsons. You're going to have the top-end, of all these players. But you're not going – the low-end or the average player within the league itself has increased.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even the other guys. I mean, I think, you look at Robert Orr, who was a great, great tackle to go out there and do it. How would he do against, the defenses of today? Would he be able to stack up against a Penei Sewell? No. I'll go ahead and drop the Penei Sewell is the first pick. He is all pro, 100%, second year in the league, probably the best tackle out there right now. That was Orr back in his day. No, they're not the same.
So Brock Purdy is on the verge of making history if he can go out and get to the Super Bowl. And not to mention, you said he was making 750.
850 is what Brock Purdy's making.
Kurt Warner.
750. I know the chip is cutting off circulation to your brain. It's okay. You still look like you're in pain, Tyler.
The stomach is, but you know, up here I'm fine. It's really done its a lot in the digestive tract. I think my intestines are burning more than like I'm burning anymore. I'm fine. I can handle myself. No, I can't. Don't lie.
Dude, you're gonna have a rough day tomorrow. Do you work?
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Good luck. Thanks. I'm gonna need it. But no. But Kurt Warner, the amount that you listed, that was with his bonus money, what he was making. So he was significantly making a lot less than what Purdy was. But again, you know, the pay scale was a lot different then than it is now too.
Well, I think for this year, the 49ers owe Trey Lance like $4 million more than they're paying Brock Purdy.
Yeah, and who's out there slinging the ball?
Yeah, I mean, that just all goes to it. But I think it's going to be a good weekend. We're going to have some fun seeing some things. I think that's the most interesting story of it all. We see so many guys sitting out because of paychecks, and Brock Purdy's out there. He's making good money. That man's going to get paid.
Do you remember what minute mark it was that I ate the chip?
Yeah, it was at like 10. We were at right about 10 minutes.
Right about 10 minutes in. So we're almost there. We're almost at an hour. I'm almost an apex predator, my guy.
I think people have called you a lot of things in your life, Tyler, but I don't know that you've ever been an apex predator before. Congratulations.
Hey, you can add that to my title. Next episode, right there, instead of loser, apex predator.
Yeah, I think it may say bubble guts.
A lot of bubble guts. A lot of them.
But I got to get jumping off of here. We're almost right at an hour.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm excited for the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited for this weekend, excited for the games. Can't wait to talk to you, James. I'm going to stay on just so everyone knows that I made it to an hour.
I got to jump off because I haven't set my lineup yet today. And we got a game starting here soon. So just
we got a game starting soon.
I'm running real close, and I think I may need to make some trades here as well.
Right on. Go ahead and do your thing, and I'm just going to sit here on live.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Have a good one, James. Now I sit here and wait until we hit a minute or an hour and whatever, hour and 10. Hey, Riley, can you grab that remote and turn the volume up? I got the game on in the background, so we'll just be watching that. It'll be boring for the last 10 minutes of the pod, but we're fine. Right there, here's the remote. I got hot chip hands, Riley. Did you watch me with the chip?
I wanted to, but it took too long for it to get the site. So when I can just watch it on my video, I am going to.
You're going to?
Yeah. That's my goal.
Where's that at?
I think in the bedroom, but I just mom has stickers for my tablet, so I'm making a sticker book.
Sticker book?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. No, not really. I'm not okay.
I watched some of the video, but I felt it's time to go out.
Yeah.
It looked like it was at wrong.
It did for a little bit. Still here. Yeah, a little bit.
There will be some awkwardness early on with him moving around, just getting used to it, because remember, Thursday night football game, they're not having many full speed practices, but I think he'll get him into the pocket early just to give the illusion that he still has that mobility. But this is a big part of his game. Not necessarily scrambling around and making big plays, but scrambling around and stealing those 5-6 yard runs to keep him on track in the downs. I'm interested to see him tonight. I love his new toy count. Really, I think they have a great core. Those back shoulders, we're going to see a lot of man coverage. And then all the other weapons that he has. This is a really talented Jacksonville offense. Trevor Lawrence this year needs to take that next step from being a 15th, 16th, 17th to